Josh with Kodiak Christian Outdoors, and I had a request earlier this week from my good buddy Ray over at can2fitness.com to do a video on paracord bracelet. I shared a little bit with him when he was here in Kodiak this summer, but he wanted a little refresher. But unfortunately, living in Kodiak, don't always have the materials or able to get your hands on the materials you need to do a job. And right now I find myself that Walmart does not have any buckles for bracelets, but I'm gonna do my best to do something for Ray right now because I promised him a video by the end of the week. I'm gonna make a cool little keychain using the same knotting technique that you would use in a bracelet. You can make anything with this. So today we're gonna make a keychain instead of a bracelet. I apologize, Ray, but the technique's the same. So stick around and we'll make a keychain. Alright guys, let's get started on this. Now I've got my materials out here on the table. I've got my key ring. This will be what the key ring will be attached to in the end. You will need a knife or scissors or some sort of cutting tool. I'm going to use my Wyndham Blades knife. And you'll need a lighter. It's pretty simple. First you want to cut the amount of cordage that you're going to need. You can average about a foot per inch of whatever it is you're making. So if you were making a bracelet and you were making an 8-inch bracelet, you'd want about 8 feet. I always give myself a little extra just in case, and I can trim it up at the end. But just go ahead, cut your cordage to length. Then you're going to want to take your lighter, this is where this comes in, and melt the ends. All that's going to do is keep your cordage from coming unraveled. This one didn't get melted when it was cut originally, and so it was a little bit frayed, but that's perfectly fine. So now what we're going to do here is take our key ring. You're going to double over your cordage. Alright, so it's doubled over. I'm going to pass it through the key ring where that loop is, then pull all of the remaining back through that loop. So now you basically just have a little hitch around your key ring. Alright, that's how it's going to stay attached on there. You could just loop it over it if you wanted to. It's strictly up to you. Now I'm going to come back to this end. I've got it attached there. I'm going to come up here, figure out about how long I'm going to make this key fob, and then from there I'll take my two working ends and I'm going to start knotting. This is what's going to make up the fob or the bracelet or whatever it is that you're making. It's the same knot. I'm going to take this side, cross it over, then you'll take the other side, go over this and pass it behind everything that you have through the loop that you created. And then just tighten everything up. This one will be a little bit tricky to get tightened up at first. But once you get it done, it'll be just fine. Alright, so get that fared. We're nice and tight there. Alright, now we'll begin our knotting over our inner strands. So we're going to do the same thing, except going back the other way. This side will go over. Alright. You take this side. It goes over this end, behind everything, and up through the loop that was created. And then you tighten them both up. And pull them really tight. Alright. Now, on this side, pass this over, creating your loop. You take this side, go over that standing in, behind everything, and up through the loop. Pull tight. Create your loop over your standing in, behind everything, up through the loop. Pull it tight. And you just keep this pattern going all the way down. Throughout the whole thing, just keep making sure it's all nice and tight. Okay, once you reach the end, you'll have two little tabs hanging out here, a little guy waving at you. And you'll cut those off. I like to use scissors to do that. It works a little bit better. So you just want to cut that end off. Take your lighter, you carefully melt just that end, making sure not to melt the whole thing. So get that, and I take my scissors and I press that end down, kind of melting it on to the rest of it. That's what locks it in place. You just do the same thing to the other side. But be sure you don't touch that melted in. One of the worst burns I've got here recently came from a melting piece of cord. So be careful. Make sure you press that down with your scissors and not your finger. So now you have yourself a finished key fob. Now the technique of knotting that I showed you here today is the same technique that's used for making paracord bracelets. I used it to make a watch band. You can even make bigger projects like a belt or a gun sling, just however much time you want to put into a project, but that'd be a pretty cool thing to do. There are hundreds more paracord style bracelets, things that you can do with paracord you can find online, but this is probably the simplest and most common. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helped Ray out, and I hope that somebody else gets some use out of this video. You can find us on Facebook now at KodiakChristianOutdoors.com. So like us on Facebook, visit our website, and remember guys, if you get a chance to get outdoors, make the most of it and play hard. But at the end of the day, don't forget to pray harder. We'll catch you next time.